So I see no reason why that wouldn't happen with the BSL as well in Metroid Fusion. And so you and I were talking about Metroid Dread, and we were kind of discussing back and forth. Like, the Emmy Zone was a very cool concept. I don't know if it was utilized to the fullest extent that it could have been, and you don't really have an opportunity to bring that back if you're, for the next sequel. But that is where I might disagree. So this is my pitch. I think your core gameplay mechanic for Metroid Fusion, the remake, is you take all 6 sectors of that game, and they're going to be greatly expanded, and I'm going to say, like, 80% of that area is, like, a giant Emmy zone. But we take out the Emmy, we put in the SAX, it's still the same idea, one-hit kill. They already have the engine for it, so presumably it shouldn't be, like... I mean, I'm no game developer. It probably is very difficult. But, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be, like, as maybe difficult as it might be starting from scratch. You still do have that kind of tense atmosphere. And, for the longest time, I've heard people talking about, like, man, they should remake Metroid Fusion like Alien Isolation, where the alien can creep up on you and kill you from any spot, and you kind of have, like, the motion that you can track it with. I think that if you just had, like, one ginormous Emmy room, let's call it Emmy room, but it'll be like an SAX zone, spread across the 6 sectors. Let's just say that the main deck is off limits. But if you have if you have all those 6 SAX zones, that might be the closest way as you could possibly get to having that kind of Alien Isolation kind of atmosphere, I guess, or encounter, while, like, repurposing something that's worked before and using it for greater effect. So I have some other ideas about this remake. But I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. And I didn't think... I mean, I'm not going to say I think that they're going to do it, but I actually don't think that it's, like, completely impossible that they wouldn't do this either. So I'll turn it over to you guys. What do we think of this new core mechanic idea for a Metroid Fusion sequel? Or, remake. Sorry.
Mhm. Uh, I think that is certainly a good idea. If there was, like, an option to, like, customize, like, how, like, I'm not sure, because I would like to... It's like toning down how many encounters you could have with the SAX, because I don't want to really... That's what I liked about the Emmy zones, is that, yeah, they only were limited to a specific, like, part of the map. If they were following me throughout the entire map, or, like, close to the entire map, I would get sick of that. And that's kind of where I'm at with this SAX idea. Again, though, it depends on, like, how big the zone is for the SAX to follow you, because I don't want to play the game like I'm playing Alien Isolation, which, to my understanding, Alien Isolation still had, like, moments of, like, oh, I can breathe because I know the alien's done in this area, right? But that's not why I play Metroid. I play Metroid to explore, and it's not as fun to, like, explore if you're constantly being followed by something. And that's where my concern lies. It could be a cool feature in, like, a harder difficulty mode, I think, but I think, like, it can't be, like, the only option you have.
Right. And there is another drawback to that, but I want to... Doom, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, I actually like that proposal of, like, an alternate difficulty mode that, like, increases the appearance of, like, SAX and all that. I think that would actually be a really cool way to implement kind of like an Alien Isolation style type of gameplay to a Metroid title without it feeling too alienating, pun not intended. But
right.
No, you intended that pun,
yeah, don't lie to us. Don't lie. I agree with you guys. I think that if you could do that, let's just say, like, your base game is... So first of all, I think that you definitely have to have certain rooms that are off limits, like obviously save stations and recharges, but, like, even, like, puzzle rooms where you have to slow down and, like, you have to, like, you know when you're when you shoot something and the X comes out, you have to wait for it to morph to something else. I think that, like, if you are in a room like that, you can't have the SAX chasing you. But I think that would be very cool, actually, if you could, like, let's say 50% of each sector was a SAX zone, on base difficulty, and then, like, 65% was on hard, and then, et cetera, et cetera. So the proposal, the drawback with that, too, is that you would probably lose those really intense moments in Fusion where you're running away from the SAX, like when you have to freeze the SAX, or when he lays the power bomb, et cetera, et cetera. You could maybe try and work some of those, like, escape sequences in, maybe, like, kind of Ori-esque, I don't know, but I think that would be a sacrifice you'd have to make for the SAX to constantly be kind of after you. But yeah, I don't know, like, I think it would be kind of cool, but there's definitely some drawbacks, because you definitely do want to have the ability to explore. So you know, there's definitely some room for improvement there, but I think as a core concept, that would be cool, because, like, the one thing about Metroid Fusion is it tells you, like, the SAX is hunting you. The SAX is hunting you over and over again, but the SAX really is never hunting you all that closely, so I think it could be cool.